Thank you for joining me today. I'd like to speak about a product I just purchased the other day. It's a pressure washer, and I was a little hesitant in buying them because it's electric. I've seen the gas ones used, and they're pretty powerful. But these electrics, yeah, they get mixed reviews, so I didn't know whether to pick one up or not. But I picked up a what they call this, the Sun Joe. It's from I picked it up at Walmart. It was really good price. Cheapest I had ever seen it, so I grabbed it. And they said, for the price, it works or it doesn't work. I'm hoping it does work. I was really hoping to use it on my car. I mean, there's just places in the car that, it's hard to get to, especially like around the wheels and stuff. You can't get the dirt out. And plus they have like a little soap bottle that comes with them. You can supposedly just cover your car with soap, and it seems to make it easier to clean the car. I don't know if they work or they don't. This is it. I picked it up. It's the Sun Joe. It's 2050 PSI 2050. I'm not sure if it's really as strong as they claim, but we'll give this a try. You've probably seen it. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it. Well, I've watched them myself. There's actually YouTube videos on how to enhance it a little bit, put a better hose on and a better nozzle. But I'm gonna give it a try. Walmart was $49. I figured give it a try, and so we're gonna go outside and try it on the car and maybe a little bit on the sidewalk and see if we can get some dirt and see if it's more powerful than using, let's say, a garden hose. So thanks. We'll take a look at it, test it out. Thanks. The unit, quality-wise, seems decent. It's lightweight, mostly plastic, but we'll know for sure when we give it a run through and try to wash the car with it and see what happens. Again, it's not going to be as powerful as a gas-powered one, but we'll see if it does the job. I'm going to try it out on a vehicle I have here. It's a little dirty. You can see even some bird stuff on the sides of the car. I'm wondering if I have to scrub this, or will this be powerful enough to actually remove it. We'll see. So all I've done so far here is I plugged it into power, and I took this off my hose and connected it straight to the front. So the back outlet here for the gun. So that goes out the back, and the ingoing water goes in through the front here. There's even a little marking here, shows a little faucet, so you know which to switch. So it looks pretty simple. I'm gonna turn this thing on. Now it doesn't seem to be leaking, which is nice. I was concerned it might leak here, but it seems sealed, so there's no problems. And the gun, need to put that together. Just two parts here. Let's see how this goes on. So remember, it was a kind of a twist and locking mechanism to make this go on. Let's see. There we go. I think that's it. And turn this on, see what happens. Okay, not making noise, probably because I have to pull the trigger. Okay, that makes sense. So it shuts off once it's power out, which is good. And then I would just hold this down. Let's see if it's spraying or not. Let's get this going. Wow, seems to be working. Okay, so I'm gonna face the camera towards the car and see if I can wash this car without having to scrub it by hand. So let's find out how much power this gives. I used the number 0, which is supposed to be the strongest of them, and see if this can take off some of the dirt without me having to do it. Some of this is over here, some bird crap, so hopefully that will come out. But let me see how it does. Now it actually is pretty dirty. I haven't washed this for a while, and again, I just want to see if this will do the job without having to do it by hand. Oh, sorry. There we go. is doing, if you can see it, it did take off the bird stuff with no problem. It also appears to be removing the dirt without me having to do it by hand, because before what I would do is I would just suds this thing down and then use the regular hose and wash it. It always took a long time. This, I haven't even used the soap at all. There is a soap bottle I could use, but this is removing the dirt from the side of the car with no problem. The other thing I want to show you is I'm going to do the wheels. They get really, really dirty, so let me give you a close-up of it and we'll see how it gets the dirt off the aluminum wheel. So this is the front wheel. I find these tend to get the dirtiest. Now, the areas I have the biggest trouble with is inside the spoke areas here. It's just the dirt gets along here, and it also gets underneath towards the brake disc too, around that area. The only way to clean this properly would probably to take the whole wheel off, and I usually end up using like a wire brush or something to try to get in one of those little round brushes, and it's still real trouble to get the inside of this. So I'm going to try this, see if it helps make it easier. It is pretty dirty. I'm hoping it takes it right off, and I'm hoping it gets underneath. See, it actually is removing pretty much everything from the outside and a little bit on the inside. I'm going to focus a little more inside a little bit, but for now I would say this is doing a good job. Let me try to get a little more inside, see if I can get to the back side from this. So it is doing it. It's getting back there. It's just I need a little more patience. This is a little bit before I couldn't get to it at all. So this is definitely making it a lot easier, and I'll be able to make it look shiny in both front and back, which would be nice. I mean, yeah, you really can't see it that much, but I mean, it was just getting so black back there, and I just wanted to be able to get to it. The front, I'm going to do a little more, try to get inside of the bolts and stuff, but I think it's doing a really nice job. I mean, it's only 2,000 PSI, but for washing a car, it's more than sufficient. One of the things I do like about this unit is it does turn off the motor while the gun's not being triggered, which is kind of nice. It doesn't make a lot of noise until you're ready to use it. And so I'm now facing the front of the car, and you'll see there's some bird crap on the front here. Let's see how easy it takes it off. And then I wanted to do a little more on this wheel. Let's see if we can get into the bolts a little bit more because they're kind of dirty. Okay, well now that I'm kind of a little bit wet from all that, I'm going to go finish the rest of the car. I'm not going to record it, but this gives you an idea that
this should make it easy for me. I should be able to just do the entire car in just a few minutes. And I didn't use the soap bottle. I guess if the car was really, really dirty, I could probably do that. But right now, it seems to be doing a real good job. And the main reason I got this is I wanted to wash the car in as short a time as possible. And I'm hoping this will do the job. So I actually just finished washing the car. I could say it maybe 5 minutes because without having to hold the camera and the spray at the same time was a lot faster for me. And I was able to just go through the entire car. The only thing I noticed that if I got into anything that was a little stubborn and didn't want to come out, all I simply had to do is move the sprayer closer, maybe 2-3 inches away, and it was just enough power to remove almost any rough dirt or stain on the car. So that was the only thing I noticed. Other than that, it just seemed really fast. I guess if the car was really, really filthy, I could have probably have used the soap bottle and coated it with suds. I might do that next time. But this time it was just, I just liked that I could do this whole thing in maybe 10 minutes between setup and spraying down the car. It was just really quick.
So my conclusion is that the unit actually worked better than I expected. It actually did a pretty good job. What I noticed most of all is that it really speeded up cleaning the car. I usually spend maybe a good 30 minutes or more, usually scrubbing down the car and then hosing it down, and this just really made it a lot faster. I would say just doing the whole car itself, it was about 5 minutes, and then there was something else I found necessary to do. I had to wipe the car down when you after you use the high pressure hose on it. There's just a few little spots that you miss, and maybe a tiny thin, barely noticeable layer of dirt. You can't even see it. For some reason, it just doesn't come off. I think I've had that same problem when I've soaped cars down. Sometimes you just miss spots, or you get some areas that just don't clean for some reason. So what I did is just used an old towel and just wiped the car down. It took like 2-3 minutes to do that. So the whole thing may have taken maybe 8 minutes, definitely less than 10 minutes. It was so quick that I was able to then pull out my wife's car and spray that with a high pressure hose. Again, 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to just wipe and dry off the car with an old towel, and then I was done. And it just took so much less time. So I think it's a great unit. I think for less than $50, it was definitely worth the money, and definitely going to use it to clean the cars. I might again try the soap bottle if I think I need it. I did do a little bit quick tries on the sidewalk, and it was very, very effective. Just cleaned everything that it hit. If you have a spot that doesn't get removed, you just move the nozzle like just a couple of inches away, and it just seems to have the power to remove almost anything. And so I would say it's a great unit, at least for a electric unit. If you need something more powerful, you really have to go to a gas powered one. But for what I needed for it, it seemed to work fine. Thanks for watching.